We are all emotional beings. Do you know that? We are all emotional beings. Some people think that, have you seen people that have gone through so much, they think that they've deadened their emotions? That you say, nothing you go do this way, go touch me. Nothing. And it's not true. It's not true. The thing is this, is people like that, it's just minute thing that will just break them down. You'll be so shocked what you will tell them that will break them down. You know why? Because what they've done in the time, they've built walls. What you have done is you have built walls. So nothing, the day the crack will come, it's just small crack and something will slip in and you will now fall like a pack even in your prison. Because those walls, actually what they do to you, they actually form you a prisoner. They make you a prisoner. The walls we build, the walls we create, they make us what? Prisoners. So everyone is in prison of something. Ask somebody, what is your prison? Prison of words, prison of expectation, prison of, what am I expected to do? So everyone, there's something that you are trying to protect. And in the bid of protecting it, what has happened is that you have been in prison. You understand that? So, words. And these things are sown. And I will show you how it works. I will show you how it works. Because it's something I want to do. Now, I've played this video again and again. I saw it when I was preparing. I said I was going to show us what this video, and it's just the totality of what we are talking about. So, I don't know if you can play this video. Let's just take a look. It was talking about junk in the trunk. Just look at it. Let's roll.
By these beautiful cars, these luxury cars, these Cadillacs, man, aren't they lovely? Absolutely marvelous. Big old wide rim tires, plush seating. It looks real good on the outside. Take this one over here. It's really, really special. I sound like I'm selling cars, don't it? But I'm after something. You just follow me. It's a really, really sharp. Look at that interior. How nice and plush it is. You get up in this boy, I tell you, got some smells like it's new. Probably drives like it's new. It's lovely. It's wonderful. And anybody who was trying to pick a car, looking at this one, you'd probably go for it. It's all shiny and bright. You know, cars are kind of like people. If you just go by the outside, they look really good and really sharp because they prepared it just for you to look at, for you to enjoy, for you to be enticed, for you to be excited by. But man, let me tell you, this one is beautiful. Smoke gray, big wide tires. This looks good. And everything's just as good as the rest of them. It looks as nice as the rest of them do. And then all of a sudden you fool around and you say, I'm just going to take this out a little bit closer. Wait a minute. I got a problem. Somebody had cleaned this thing up. This is a mess. Oh. They got all kind of junk in the trunk. Just like you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Touch your neighbor and say, I got junk in the trunk. Yeah, that's right. Everybody does. And this is what you don't know when you date them or when you meet them. You're so caught up with how they look on the outside. You're so caught up with the externals. You're so caught up with the plushness of the way they talk, and what they drive, and where they live. And then you fool around, you start getting in here, and you start seeing all this junk. I don't know whose car this is, but I know they've been to McDonald's. They've been to McDonald's because I can tell by the junk. They had an oil change recently. Yeah, because they still got some Pennzoil in here. Yeah, they've had an oil change recently. They've been to Wendy's too. Oh, whoever owns this car likes to play games, because I can tell by the junk they got in the trunk. It's all, they've been to Colonel Sanders too. What I'm trying to get you to see is that when you start dating people, you never get to see what's on the inside. You never get to realize that in spite of the slick talk or the nice looks or the shapely body or even the scriptures they quote or the way they walk or their gait or their presentation, you don't know that they got all of this junk. The junk comes from all the places they've been. You don't collect it in a day, but over years and years and years of not cleaning yourself out and getting yourself together, all of your past is represented by the junk you got left in your trunk. And then you get up in front of a preacher like me, and we pronounce you man and wife, and you get married, and the honeymoon, and then the honeymoon is over, and you get home, and the next thing you know, all the junk comes out, just little by little. My God, it starts coming at you. Every time you turn around, there's all this stuff coming at you. I'm gonna show you how to deal with the junk in the trunk right after this.
A round of applause for that. So, do you see that? Everyone you see, by virtue of the places you've been
I
to.
want to specially invite you to.
My God.
I'm surrounded by these beautiful cars, these luxury.
Yes, thank you. It's part of the junk. Oh my God. Yes. Okay, so the truth is that everyone has a junk. Everyone. And that's what we don't talk about in the regular church. In the regular churches, bless you, you're good. The Lord be with you. How are you doing? You know, have you ever asked somebody in church, said, how are you? Said, the Lord bless you. Especially in those spiritual places. And everybody is okay. But let me tell you something. One of the things I've come to realize, and that's why this conversation is so important for me. Because I've met people that what they are dealing with is a lot. But we can cover it with religion. We can cover it with the things that we have to deal with. We can cover it with all sorts and all manner. And when you come to environments like this, it will be so short. And you know, one of the things I tell people is this. Everyone, you will be so shocked what people have inside of them. And it's not their fault. It's from the experiences where they have been through, what they've had to experience, the kind of family they came from, the kind of father they had, the kind of environment that came through them. You know, I saw some people recently, I said, see, and I think I listened to it too. one of the things you must always ask yourself is, may you not be in a situation whereby you will rely on man for help. Last resort. Last resort. And that is the thing. You don't know how much I know one of the things that happen to people is that pressure bring out the junk inside. Pressure. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You did something before you say, is it me that did this thing? Pressure. Pressures of life can actually bring out you will think that you're okay until you're in this certain situation that without pam. How many of you have been precious before? You guys are not talking anymore. David, have you been precious before? Have you been pressured before? Pressure. Pressure. I want to hear your pressure experience. So Cosmos, what's your pressure experience? Tell me your pressure experience. No, just sit down. We just pass the mic. Pass to the next person, next person, next person, next person, next person. We don't need to move.
2020.
Okay.
When I was out of job for 8 months.
Okay. Really? 2020?
Yes, 2020.
Are you serious?
Out of job for 8 months. In fact, someone sent something to me in the church that broke me. Okay, so at that point, it wasn't a problem for me until later.
What did the person say to you?
So when we were doing business church and all of that.
Yes, you were the pioneer business church. You mean when you were doing business church, you didn't have a job?
Part of the time we were doing business church, I didn't have a job.
So I can understand what somebody can tell you.
And then we are using our money to run it as a
Yes.
team. It wasn't a problem. So something that happened, and then I can't remember what it was. The person was like, even you can sort it now. Normally, it shouldn't get to me, but I just feel I've not been working for 6 months. And part of the time we were doing all of this, it was our money we were using for it.
Yes.
So you don't even know my current state, and then you look at me and say, I should be able to sort it now.
Well, the person doesn't know whether you're not working or not.
But why wouldn't, I just feel that.
Do you understand that?
The person is in a
sometimes we just
position to know.
I agree. But the truth is that.
And I feel the person knew.
No, you feel it's a feeling. It's a feeling.
I don't want to say that I wasn't wrong in that sense, because I know I wasn't wrong.
I agree, but do you know that somebody can just you can think that like now, I'm surprised. As close as I am to you, I didn't know that there was a time in our relationship you were without work for 6 months.
8 months.
8 months. Think about it.
So in fact, I didn't deal with it till not like I was angry, but I just stay on your own. Anything that will bring us together, so I don't just. Because one of the challenges I have is that what I want to talk, I don't hold back. I don't care who the person is. I'll just say my mind. And I've discovered that most times people get hurt. So anything that will just make me, so I just avoid. So I just avoided the person.
So let's go back to the pressure. What were your options during those days of pressure?
In fact, as a matter of fact,
yes.
It was then when federal government was giving these loans and all of that, and I had this thing in my mind that God put in my mind.
Yes.
And I didn't know it was not the right time. So I left my job. I said, I want to do this thing. And then I was applying for a loan. I think it was even approved about 7, that loan that I can't remember the name of the loan, but government was giving that loan and also grant, but mine was loan.
Okay.
In fact, we went to Smeden training and all of that. So I was so sure that, because God has told me, so I was so sure that, everything was going to go through with it.
Yes.
And then it didn't happen. And then government even stopped, when the loan had been approved, and the government stopped giving out the loan, So I was confused at that point.
Were there things you wanted to do that you know that if you have done it, you have regretted?
I don't think so.
So what were the things? Were you angry during those pressure time?
Yes.
Were you angry with God?
No, I was not angry with God.
Or were you angry?
I was just confused.
Confused?
Yes, I was just confused because I know that, you told me that, fine, we're going to do this, we're going to do this.
Yes.
Right? Those things are still in the pipeline. But what I did not know that time is, and I learned from it is it the right time?
Okay.
Yeah, and it helped me in my wedding because I knew we were under pressure, but I wasn't perturbed because I knew it was the right time.
So let me ask you, the pressure wedding, the wedding of pressure, and that pressure, which one was more?
I think it was the wedding
Pressure.
The wedding pressure.
Okay. You didn't pressure.
In fact, I was scared of this woman here because I know how she used to be, fire. And it was and she didn't give me fire, There was no fire. So you know now,
Yes.
know there was no fire. We were both surprised that there was no fire.
We are both surprised. Okay,
So I think that the pressure was much, but that experience prepared me.
For this.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Now, do you understand that pressure experience?
Prepared me
Let
for
me hear
this.
on that pressure. I want you to you have been on pressure. Okay. Olu Victor, pressure. Your pressure. I want to hear your pressure experience. Your pressure experience.
Yeah, hallelujah.
Amen.
I think it was about 2011 when I was with the ministry at that time, so we're trying to erect a structure. And the regional church, who has all it takes to help us, refused to help us. And he will always come for a meeting close to where our church is. He'll be giving out money. Then we just never around 10,000. Then roof were very cheap. And he knows the condition. So one day we struggled to roof that church. And unfortunately one day they called me and said, Pastor, rain don't carry una roof. Oh." So I ran to church with speed, got to church, roof off. Kai. Struggle for more than 3 years. I now called the superior. He now said to me, who called you? I said, God. He said, look up to him. Kai. You may not understand. It's funny now, but it's not funny that day. In fact, I said some unpretending things in that venue. I was very mad.
So the pressure brought out the anger in you.
Extreme. In fact, do you know that it is now, 2011, that I'm beginning to see. Sir, if it's only, it was in this Abuja some times ago, I will not attend. I can't even stand him. Even when he's preaching, I say, what is he saying?
Because you felt bad.
Sir, you won't understand. You won't understand. Sir, do you know what it means that you are sent
And the
to a
person has
location?
the money.
Sir, 2 weeks after, we were invited to come and accompany him to a church. And he gave 330,000 naira.
To the church.
Why he was prophesying? He said, you have a need in this church. Oh yeah, right now, I'm giving 300. I was like, you don't mean it. We just need 5 bundles of zinc. And this thing, that time zinc was just 11,000 naira.
So 5 bundles is like 50-something thousand.
Then you just give us wood. Then he will just build normal 2 coaches for us.
So with 100,000.
100,000 is enough. And he gave 300-something thousand naira. Someone, you will not understand.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something. I agree with this. And I understand this. But you know what you don't understand is this. Sometimes there are certain things that God used to wire you for the next level. Yes. The next level. Because you may think that, and that's I keep telling people, if people have not helped you, it's very simple. God has not helped you. I'm telling you, when God helps you, people will help you. That's the truth.
That's true.
So I can tell you that maybe it has not been placed in his heart to help you.
Yes, no, it's not for me.
I agree.
This is a church that
I agree.
is our superior.
I agree. I agree.
And we were sent there. We're like in 2.
I agree. Missionaries, I agree.
And
but the thing is, you must understand how this thing works.
Yes.
And for your work, it will show. Now, thank you very much. I want to take another pressure experience. Okay, Buchi. Just take it, just pass the mic.
Good evening, church.
All right.
So I think I've had a couple. A little weirdly, I think I find myself there very often. Maybe because,
Please put the mic close.
Okay, sorry. Maybe because our upbringing was very pressured.
Okay.
So we had we lived in a very pressured environment.
Yeah.
Whether physical environment or just emotional environment. It was always pressured. So I got used to it. But I've had, like, on my own time, some significant ones. I think one would be my transition from med school. So in my second year med school, I realized that I'd always known that I didn't want to study medicine. But now, after so many fights and arguments with my family, I was like, okay, let me do it. But then I told myself that if this thing is not working, I won't do it. So by second year in med school, I was pissed every single day of coming to class.
Okay.
Like, the only thing that made me happy was, with a good training, we are going to play football. That was the only thing that was making me happy. And I'm like, nah. I've had such an experience before when I was in sex school, and this is not going to happen to me at the prime of my life. So it was a major decision to make, which is leave med school. Now, I know I cannot possibly tell my mom or tell my dad I want to leave med school. So I had to drop out.
Wow.
Flat out. So I started from not coming to class to missing an exam, then missing a whole semester, and like that. So by first MB, I was absent. Wow. A whole first professional exam, I was absent. And by this time, I had, told myself that I'm writing JAMB the next year. I had businesses I was doing in school, so I was focused on that. So I would do my JAMB. I had this plan. It was perfect. I was working at it intensely. And I had, like, my group of friends who were telling me, stick with it, go with it. You've tried so hard, finish it, something like that. But I was convinced that this is the path for me. And so I tried to do change of course. My AA refused to let me go, so my department didn't let me. So I now tried to do change of courses in JAMB. So things now got interesting then. So I wrote JAMB, I did well in JAMB. Then I wrote post-CTME, it was bad.
Yeah.
So it crashed my results. So basically, I wasn't qualified to get into the department I was applying for, which was psychology. So it was my dream in front of me. Then the last straw was I wanted to raise funds for a couple of things basically, but that whole period. So I had an event in school, one of the major events that year that we hosted in school. It was me that hosted it. I was sitting in a hall of over 200 students, telling them about, purpose, meaning, things like that, and encouraging them when me, myself, I'm a dropout. And we finished the event. We did like a 3 months long training. It was massive, just a lot of things. And then I came back home. My parents eventually now understood what was happening in school, that I was no longer in school.
Okay.
And they insisted that I was not going back. So the verdict was, I'm staying back in Abuja until I write another JAMB. So because by this time, 5 different admission lists had come out and my name wasn't there. So it's meaning 2 lists. And that 2 lists is VC list. Who will put you in VC list? I mean, do you get the point?
Who do you know?
Who do you know? So the idea is that 5 lists have come out. Where he won't enter from again. There's no hope for you. But I knew God had told me I was going to get him. I knew that. God told me that and I knew. But it was a lot, right? So I came back home and then eventually I fought to my parents, my dad, my family.
So how do you manage the pressure term?
So I think the only thing that helped me manage that was the fact that I knew what God told me, right? I knew that God had made me promise around this thing. And I was just so sure. So my father eventually told me that if I leave this house, because I told him I was leaving, I'm going back to school. They said, don't go. Where are you going? What are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to go. That's the only thing I know. I have businesses there, I have things there. What am I doing here? And so it's like, if you leave this house, I don't used to give you plenty money before, but even that small I used to give you, forget it. So I was like, no wahala. He went to bed, I took my box and I left. By the next day, I was in Nsukka. By the time I would get to Nsukka, all hell had broken loose in the house. My dad, my sisters, everybody was it was a lot, basically.
Okay.
So that period, I remember that the only thing I used to do was I wake up, I would pray, study the word.
So were you in school?
Yes.
You got the admission
I eventually got the admission
in psychology.
in psychology.
So the word from God actually helped you to transit the pressure period.
Yes, it was the only thing.
That was the only
That
thing you
held
could
on.
hold on to because God told you that you will scale through. Please, let's put a hand together for that. Oh. Time. Okay, let me just do something and then we'll wrap it up and continue next week. You know, every word that have been spoken to you form an image. Barry, come. Let me use you. Please come. Come to the stage. Tall. Okay, I want to do an exercise. Let me tell you how words works. And we are going to really dwell on this going into the week. And I want you to really look at this. Now close your eyes. I want you to give me some items. I need this. I need this. I need this. Go to that thing again. Give me something. Give me this one. No, the tab. Good. Now, good. Yeah, hold this for me. Okay, so watch me. This is it. Now, Barry has closed his eye. So I ask you, Barry, a bottle of water. So, when I say it, what happens to your mind? So, do you see a picture of water, a bottle of water? A picture of a bottle of water. Now, watch this. A bag. What kind of bag? But picture of a bag, handbag, a tablet, a phone. Okay. Now open your eye. Open your eyes. Can you see me? Now, this was a bottle of water. This was a phone. This was a handbag. Was it the kind of handbag you envisioned? Follow me. But you thought about a handbag. Good. So, take this. Let me tell you how words work. If someone told you you are not going to make it, an image of a person that will not make it is formed. It's formed. If someone said you are an idiot, an image of an idiot is formed. It's not just mere words. Words are not just words. Words create images. And what you must realize about images is this. You will gravitate to the image you form in your mind. The image that you form in your mind, you will definitely see yourself gravitating to the image. And this is why you will see people, you are no good. Every person you will date. Have you seen people that in their family, if I open this up now, you will realize that if your father was a wife beater, if you have not dealt with yourself, you will date somebody that will want to beat you. You date someone. And you say, but I hate it. No, it's not by what you hate. The image that has been forming your mind is attracting who you are. Who comes your way? Who comes your way? The image you have formed. So you see people, they are dealing with a lot of things. It's not that that thing is a problem. What has happened is that an image has been formed in their mind. Once you tell someone, that's why words are not just words. You say airport. No, once you tell somebody airport, you know why? We are all product of words. When God created man, he made it by words. That is where the problem is. So most times when you are faced with these challenges, you must understand that it is a function of the image that before. Now, the thing is, we just did this example for just now. The challenge is, for 20 years, you keep hearing that same word. It's no longer an image that's become an institution. So, you now want to come to church and hear 2 hours message to dismantle that institution that has been formed for 20 years of your life. Because what happened is that words actually reproduce themselves. What happened is that, somebody gave an example that, anytime I see a particular name, it reminds me. So every time words begin to form, it will be reinforcing them. Remember, it was the former president, when they asked him, did this person come back? I will not forget. He said, you don't reinforce. They say what they use, very powerful word. You don't reinforce. No, I want to get the word. Failure. When I was talking about this person coming back, don't worry, I don't want to mention it. He said, you don't reinforce failure. What words do for you is that at every point in time, those words reinforces them. I cannot make it. So you will go to a job, and then that job, your boss will give you a job that you will fail. At home, they've told you cannot make it. Reinforce it. You now meet a guy that loves you. Hey, this guy, you are good. And he look at you. You can't even keep a man. That word is not there. It reinforces another words that you have heard. So as you move on in life, it begins to reinforce the words that you have heard. The words you have heard. And then, you now got married. And then you're asking yourself, why am I like this? No. What has happened to you is that words have been formed. They have become not just images, they've become institutions in your life. So how do you dismantle words that have been formed in your life? How? Because it's going to form, because everything you do, you are only replicating the institution that you see. So somebody is telling you are beautiful, you want it. Beautiful? You can accept it in your heart, but in your mind, there is a pillar that tells you it's not true, you're not beautiful, they are deceiving you. That's it. So, it's just a practical example. You close your eye, they say a word, something has been formed in your mind, and especially negative. That is why I tell people, even though you're going to be in an environment, because all of your life, the wrong thing you have been hearing, the things I've told you what you cannot do, don't go to a place, for example, a church, that will not still tell you you cannot make it. Don't go to a place where and all they are saying about you is demon, how your father is this. So Africa, the problem with Africa is that we have reinforced our environment, even our system. So everything they are telling you is what you cannot do, is what is wrong with you. So you hardly hear a place where they tell you something is good about you. So you're always hearing what is not wrong. You want something that happened to your grandmother, something that happened to your family. Everything is about reinforcing what have been said to you from the beginning. So instead of breaking it, that's why as parents, you must learn how to say the right words to your children from the infancy, because those words you say are not just words, they are images. And as you keep building it, it becomes an institution. It will define your self-esteem. So you see people that are shy. I told you, nobody was born shy. Nobody was born stubborn. It is words that were said to them that has been reinforced. And then they feel that, I'm shy. I cannot do this. I cannot work on this. This is who I am. This is my predicament. And then you have come to believe, because what happened is that once those images are formed in your mind, it will now begin to show what you believe. So if a pastor now come and tell you, I wish the whole church can come for this series. I know what I'm talking about. Because it will help some pastors, it will help us. Because you now come and say the Lord will do. Which Lord? When they thank you, when they have said, and you just come in 2 hours to tell me that I can make it. How? How? So you will not be teaching them. You saw the Bible, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. There is a mountain that you can dismantle. If you don't dismantle, you just be talking about faith. Faith is this, faith is the mountain of this, and then that is where our problem is, and that is what? Let me shock some people. That is what some people call generational curses. I don't say it's not possible, but I'm telling you, these are some of the roots. That's some of the roots. So we now make it spiritual. Listen, let me tell you something. How some of these things work. It's not that they are not spiritual. The enemy only look for the access that you give to him. So once you realize that this person has a low self-esteem, this person they've said this to him, because don't forget, they will also move them. It's a ripple effect. They will move them. So he will now slip in on that thing that they said he cannot do. And then we'll be repeating series of events that will make him not to do that thing. And that becomes a problem. That becomes the problem. So you now see people, they'll come to church, they'll go to mountain, they'll go to... If you don't dismantle your mind, there is no miracle. So what God does is just to give us little. That's why the Bible says, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health as thy soul, your mind prosper. So if you don't deal with the mind, your prosperity is not valid. That's where the problem is. This is where the real thing is. So next week, we will now teach how to dismantle this big institution. How? How do you, something that has been there for 40 years, do you know there's a way you have conditioned your mind? And I'm telling you, check your life. You will attract what is in your mind. You attract it. You attract the kind of man that is in your mind. You attract the kind of... Have you noticed? Sit down. Ladies, sit down. And check all the people you have dated. They have similarities. And if you check some of the reasons why you broke up, it's same reasons. Everybody cannot be wrong. And you will be right. There is something about the way your mind processes things that is making people to deal with you the similar way. How come that every man you meet wants to beat you? Every man you talk down at you. This is the problem. An institution has been formed in your mind. You see why I said we are on a marathon, not on a dash. And like I said, I know we said July, but I'm not even sure. Because I want us to deal with some of these things. They are foundational matters, foundational issues that are really been dug. They have roots. And so instead of so what we do most times is just to deal with the fruits, deal with the things, and then make sure everybody go. But the root will always produce the fruit again. So every season, you see yourself acting the same way. How come that there are certain seasons that you're in a certain kind of mood? The root is there. So in COS, what we want to do is how do we dig deep? Some of you, we need to visit some matters again. Some of you, we need to come. You know, I had a conversation with somebody recently. He said, no. I said, no, you need to visit the abusers. You need to find out, hey, they are dead, create something. Because the mind does not know right or wrong. It's what you give it that it takes. Oh, I will tell you how the mind works. The mind does not know either you are black or this. It's what you give to it. So you can create an image. Maybe Joel rape you. Create something and say, this is Joel. And say, Joel, I forgive you. The mind will take it. The mind, that's how the mind works. So I'm going to show you the science of the mind and then the psychology of the mind, how we can use what has happened to us to win our current struggles. It's going to be a journey. That's what I'm telling you. Please, CUS is not a miss. And I was sharing with somebody today, especially people going to a relationship. That's why I played that video. People want to get married, young people. You need this. You know why? Because some of the things that we are dealing with is now sharing with a corporation. And I say, see, there is a pressure already now, but it's not showing. I say it's a matter of time. That pressure will show. If you don't deal with it right, you are stressed, you are not in the same time, but it will show. Because that's how it works. Please go and say that. I know you're ready. Okay. So guys, next week, we are now going to be dealing with how to dismantle negative comments that were said to us as a child. How do you dismantle them? These things, like I said, they have been reinforced. They have been restated again and again and again and again by series of what? Events in your life. Some relationship, workplace, childhood, school, they have been reinforced. So if you see all of these things I've spoken to these guys in the mastermind group, you will realize that if you dig deep, you will see series of events in their life that have reinforced this word that I've been saying. Question, please come and take the questions. Put your hands together for questions.
Praise the Lord. CUS. Praise the Lord. Okay, thank you so much, sir. That was very impactful and insightful. Sorry to intrude before I go into the questions. What our pastor said about creating pictures in your mind and reflecting in reality, and that was the hit for me this evening, sir. Thank you so much. There was a time then, let me share my own experience. They said, when I was young, far younger, like, the woman you get married to, this one, you like money so much. You will not have money. You will start with him, small. You guys will grow together. And anytime I see a rich guy approach me, I was like, they said he will not have money. They said, it was like a picture in my head.
Yeah.
But thank God for Jesus. I thought that over. So anybody in the house that has one or two questions, remarks, contributions, what you've learned so far, how it has affected you positively, please, question, anybody, remarks? Should I? Okay. Thanks, sir.
Okay, so my own is comments. Okay. So when Pastor was saying that somehow we attract, the institutions or images and all of that, a scripture dropped into my mind. In the spirit world, like we have been taught in church multiple times, when you have the positive, you also have the negative. In fact, the negative is an adulteration of the positive, right? That's the wrong is adulteration of the right. Psalms 23 and verse last, it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow you. In other words, you don't pursue after goodness and mercy, they will follow you.
Yes.
So that's the positive. And then the negative reinforces what Pierre was saying. Surely. That means verily, verily, certainly. Right? When these things are being said unto you, and then it has formed in you, they will definitely follow or pursue after you. Yes. So it was really, it hit me. Maybe you just said that. I was even sharing with her that, this is true, because in as much as we have the positive part written in the Bible boldly, say surely, that means that you can't negotiate it.
Yes.
It has to come, And so if we know this thing, it will also help us to, recondition our mind and recalibrate that if we continue here, surely this negative stuff will follow us.
Thank you so much, sir. And in addition to that, the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So as you think, that is the image you look like. So if you think positively about yourself, if you think positively about situations around you, thus it will come out positively. Thank you. Anybody else? No. Okay. Question.
Good evening, sir. So I have a question.
Okay.
At some point, Pastor talked about something about excusing bad behavior, something like that. And he was referencing the words people say to us, using Kos's example, when Kos made remark to his precious story. And then he said,
Can you take the mic, please?
Sorry, guys. Okay, so to the conversation about the remark someone made to him, that you can only you feel on now, and he was offended by that or in that. My question is, what exactly would be the healthy metric for giving grace? Because sincerely, there is a thin or almost inexistent line between grace and indulgence. Because many times, people keep doing things because nobody's correcting them or stopping them. I've had situations where just that one time you call somebody out on that thing, they change. While there are other people, you call them out a number of times and they don't change. So you want to be kind, you want to be gracious, and you want to show mercy or extend grace to people. But the behavior you are seeing are not necessarily things that should be. So what would be the determining factors for when to show grace? Do you understand? Or when to, put your foot down, either correct them or cut them. Not cut them off, but how we used to say it. There's a word we used to use, but I don't cut this person. Hallelujah. It's not like I cut them off, but I don't cut them.
Okay, praise God. I don't want to really dig deep on this, but to be sincere with you, it's a very powerful question. And this is where the African parent comes in. You can correct the issue without condemning the person. You understand? Most times what we do is we correct the issue and condemn the person. Focus on the issue. That's why telling somebody you are always doing this, you have tied the person to that event. Or saying that this thing is what this, because you are not what you do. What you do is what you do. You understand it? So most times, what we do in correcting or in conversing with people, we tend to tie them with what they've done. So a drug addict, for example, that have refused to stop taking drugs. If you want to correct that person, you will say you are a drug addict. This is how your father did it. This is how you... But what you don't realize is that if you kind of separate the person from that matter, because words, don't forget, form image. The moment he sees himself as a drug addict, it's very difficult for him to take. Very difficult. So but if he seems that it's what I am doing, because we are not human doings, we are human beings. There's a difference. So in releasing that, in telling them, you must find a way. Some people are very difficult, but like I said, if you understand the root cause of what they are dealing with, you will treat them differently. You treat them differently. Our time, COS is our time.
The last question, please.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yesterday I was pondering on something, and I had to make certain research on it as regard OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, this is a kind of illness. For me, I call it illness. That, imagine you are in a house with a person. If you have shoe like this, why do you have that shoe? You will have put that shoe this way. You go to the kitchen. Every time you are in the kitchen, and
your wife is smiling actually, but it's okay. We understand the message.
And sometimes you are very careful on your own. It's just, funnily, let me use this one. Maybe I go to the toilet Now, you flush and you are careful. And this person comes and say, oh, why is this stain here? How you ask him, where is this stain? I can't see. How you be surprised how the person is seeing stain? How you can't see stain?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying now? And you are trying the best you can to just, try to manage. But this person is not managing your sin.
No management. It's not managing your management.
Not managing your management. And sometimes, we are human beings. We react. That I said you get
push you to.
You react. You go reach, you go talk, say, Oga, now me put you here. So, I just want to, I just need you to put a light. You see, everybody, one thing about life is this. When people are not in your shoe, they give a lot of counsel. And you that were in that shoe, you have administered virtually every of their options. And none
and it has not worked.
And it has not worked. In fact, you were extremely kind to a fault that you know that, I'm kind. But still, this person is just like highly possessive. No, this thing should not be there. That thing should not be dirty. That, oh God.
Okay, let me tell you. Okay, so this is a very interesting conversation that really I'm just thinking of how to really marry it. But I'll tell you something. And that's why we're talking about this thing. Our backgrounds are different. If you ask her very well, her background is what is affecting what she's doing. Your wife is saying, thank you, preach it, tell him, pastor. It's the background. And guess what? Let me also tell you, it's his own background too. If you check his background very well, maybe in a pit toilet they use. Do you understand? And then he now come and meet a pest something lady. It will take time. It will take time. So let him, he's transiting from using a pit toilet to what do you call this? WC. He's transiting. So for that transition period, you will see him behaving as if he's still using pit toilet. So what you need to do is give them a benefit of doubt. Does this solve it? Yeah. All right, please, let's close. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Please keep clapping, keep clapping. Please, nobody is allowed to leave, especially those that were sitting in the front. We are live. Okay, please, PF, please, just a minute, sir. Just a minute, sir. Please, let's give PF a round of applause. Please, just a minute, sir. Please, sir. Please, keep clapping, keep clapping. We celebrate you, sir. We celebrate you. Okay, so as a family, as a community, we want to specially appreciate the visionary of this vision, right? And his birthday was on Wednesday. And as a family, as a community, we have a little surprise for him. So please, let's keep it coming. So we're all going to stand and we're going to sing a happy birthday song to him. All the CUS choir team. All right, sir, please. You have the stage. You have the stage. You can give the birthday. Where is the assistant birthday assistant? She's not around. Okay. So please, as a mass choir, 1, 2, go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Let's all say we love you, PF. We love you, PF. We love you, sir. We celebrate you.
I want to believe that you enjoyed that series. A number will be scrolling. I want you to send us your questions so that we can deal with some of the things that we have said in the teaching and in the conversation we just had in the service. Join us next week as we continue the conversation. Don't forget, it's bags and baggages from trauma to triumph. See you next week.